Hello there again, Mike Rimland here, the plant hunter at Costa Farms. And remember, that's plant hunter, not hunted. Nobody wants to be hunted. Today we're going to talk about another one of our new intros into the industry, into stores that you guys have probably seen over the last 3 or 4 months. It's Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It's another one of those names where there's like 3 different ways you can pronounce it. That's the way I pronounce it. You know, again, depending on where you live in the world might make a difference as far as accents and stuff, but this is it, Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. The interesting thing about this one is in some different parts of the world, some other names have come up which are just wrong. You know, we definitely know this is a Rhaphidophora or Rhaphidophora. It's not a philodendron, it's not a monstera. The common name on this plant, interesting enough, is that it's a fairly good common name. It's called Mini Monstera. Mini Monstera because it kind of looks like a Monstera deliciosa, you know, that type of fenestration in the leaf. So, you know, we get why that got put on it. But we're starting to see some other names pop up like Philodendron Minima. And I think I'm pronouncing the Minima part right. But it's not a philodendron and it's not a Monstera. It is a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. So we're clearly sure of that, and that's the genus and species that we're talking about here today. Again, tagline on this plant, as I like to use a tagline, as you know, if you've heard some of my videos, it's all about the fenestration. I mean, if this thing was a solid leaf, it would just be almost like a philodendron. It'd be just another green plant, which is kind of cool. But the unique part about this is the way it fenestrates. Again, some people, just to make it easier, that word's hard to remember, you know, the splits in the leaf or the slits in the leaf that just naturally occur in the plant. I could be a wise guy and joke around and tell you that we sit around here every day, about 1,000 people, and we cut these out into little circles, but I'm not gonna be funny because then you guys are gonna hate me, so, because it's not funny. But it's a great indoor plant. It is definitely a vining plant. We sell it as a freestanding plant. The one I have in my hand, I purposely have it just to show some of the vining. We sell them a little more compact, or quite a bit more compact, but just to show you that the plant, even freestanding, which means without a totem pole or some type of trellis for them to climb on, it still does pretty good. You can shake it. It's not going anywhere. It's still good. One of the things you can do with this plant, if you don't want to put it on a pole, totem pole or some type of stick or shingle, you can cut this cutting off. You can actually put it in water and root it, or put it in some wet soil. If it has good light, it'll root. And the plant will send up new shoots again, as long as you're in the right light. And talking about the right light, again, just as a reminder, we say this with everything that we sell as an indoor plant because we want it to thrive, not barely survive. Put it within 3 feet of an east or west window, not 9 feet back, no curtains or drapes. I know I'm saying this kind of dramatic because I say it a lot. No big giant oak tree sitting outside the window that you think you're putting it in that's blocking the light. When we say window light, we mean sunlight coming through, 3 or 4 hours of it preferably. That's going to be 300, 400, 500 foot candles of light, which is great. It can handle a 100-foot candle. It's going to stretch a little bit more. It's going to grow on you. This plant actually does extremely well in low light, but that is what you're going to run into is you're going to have a lot of stretching occurring, and you can always cut that back, and again, you can avoid having that stretch issue. No issues on insects really. Maybe you'll see some mealybug on the plant when it's, if you don't maintain, don't watch it. It can dry down real well. It's this one in particular I'm holding right now is very dry, so it shows you it doesn't wilt, and that sometimes is a good thing or bad thing. The wilt can be a good indicator you need to water a plant, and this plant's not going to probably wilt on you. What you will notice on this plant, this genus, this species, I should say, is it'll go kind of gray on you. The color will go dull on you, and I mean literally. If it goes dry over 2 or 3 days, it'll go from green to kind of almost a gray color, and that'll really tell you need to add water to it. If your soil gets really dry, you've heard me talk about this before, don't try to water soil that's really, really dry. Stick it in something like your sink, with your sink plugged, and let things sit in there for 10, 15 minutes to really get water. It's kind of like a sponge. You want to get all the air out, so that really rehydrates the soil. If you try to pour water on the top, and not to get into a water PK or product knowledge here, the soil tension is so hard, and the cohesion of water makes the water just kind of run down the side. So you might think you're watering it, but you're not. So if you have a ceramic pot, That's kind of a good thing. You can put in maybe about an inch of water in the bottom. That's actually how I water my plants, and let it sit in there for an hour, 2 hours the most. That water will be pulled right up. If there's any water left in 2 hours, take the plant out, dump the water. It's not going to absorb anymore. Kind of think of it always as a sponge. Soil's like a sponge. So this is not a new variety. It's another retro. It's coming back from about 25 years ago. This plant was around. It's not a new discovery by me or us or anybody else, but the fenestration has become very popular now, and because of that, this really the reason this plant's come back. So look for it in your local stores. Great indoor plant, kind of cool, fun, and enjoy the plant. And thank you very much.